You know how they say that?
Okay, here we go.
The saying hung like a horse. So it said a horse's dick is 20 inches long. So the equivalent to be hung like a horse in human terms would be 4 inches. So if you're 4 inches or better, you're hung like a horse.
Great. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the park.
I'm hung like a horse.
Great. Great. This is our show, the podcast. My name's Charles.
I'm Nolan.
I'm Bruce.
And this is the Park Podcast. This is episode...
Whatever.
11.
I think it's...
We're in the hundreds now, right?
I think it's 11. Not to be sure. I hope everybody's keeping up with that. Of course, it'll go on the credits, as usual, at the beginning.
Yeah.
But for you all who don't know, the park is about our opinions on life.
It's about everything and nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a good say. So whatever opinions we have are ours alone. If y'all want to leave a comment about them, great. If you don't, great.
Yeah.
But
I'll probably say something that's going to offend some people. It's cool.
That's right. This is our disclaimer, folks. That's what we're calling out right now. Do you have anything to say in your disclaimer?
Nope.
Okay.
Fuck it. If you don't like it,
that's right.
you know,
So
keep watching.
Jim from Nolan. I love it.
that being said, we have a few segments that we like to get into. And we'll start the first one off with...
Well, we're going to start with Chris Rock.
The Oscars.
The Oscars.
The Oscars.
That's right. And for y'all who didn't see it,
I think everybody
I think
saw
the
it.
whole world saw
That's
it
the only
now,
thing
by
I
now.
think it was the only thing that was, when I'm scrolling through Facebook,
It's the only thing that keeps
Instagram,
popping
the
up.
only thing. Like,
Yeah.
I seen Chris Rock get slapped 67.4 million times.
Or you saw him not get slapped. There's a theory about that too.
I don't know about that. But for everybody who has seen it, of course, it's the slap heard around the world.
Slap her. Right?
Will Smith walking on stage during the middle of the Oscars after Chris Rock's tasteless joke. I say tasteless because depending on who you are, you might not have thought it was so bad. I being one of those people.
Same.
Like,
Comedians have said worse things.
It
Way
was a
worse
soft joke.
Red
It was
Fox
real
has said things that
Make you
probably
make you
you
wanna
shouldn't
cry.
even like play in front of
I mean, could you
adult
imagine?
people.
Could you imagine if like Richard Pryor
Yeah.
would have been at the Oscars
Oh.
and he like what Richard Pryor would have said? Motherfucker.
Yeah. he would have been in it. Security. Get this motherfucker out there. But no, I as far as that goes, I think a comedian is a comedian, and they're gonna say what they're gonna say because they're comedians, right? Do I think he should have walked on stage and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock? No.
Probably.
I think he should have caught him behind stage,
Yeah.
backstage. I think he should have caught him outside and said, "Hey man, listen, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Don't come back anymore." Whatever it is, right? There's no reason to get up and say, "No, I got to handle this right now before I get this award." Some shit like that. Like, obviously, he didn't give a shit about the award, but then he cried about getting it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you didn't give a shit about, because they could have just as well, imagine, just as well, if he was not Will Smith and it was just some random dude
Right.
going to crash, he'd have been in jail.
Right.
He'd have been in jail. Right then. Like, there wouldn't have been, well, let's wait and see if he gets an award for, best unknown dude slapping a celebrity.
Well,
No,
my
it's
question to Will Smith would have been like, okay, so Chris Rock making a joke about your wife's hair
Mhm.
is where you get violent, but the fact that you know that there's other dudes putting meat to your wife and you ain't slapped none of them?
Yeah, that would have been a problem.
I mean, that to me, I think it's an honor. If you are at a comedy show and the comedian makes a joke about you, that's kind of like, it's like, hey, you noticed me. You know what I'm saying? Like
You made it.
yeah,
And then you see all these people,
It's a
right?
status thing.
exactly.
You see all these people that are saying, well, Chris Rock has been making these jokes for years about Jada, and he made that joke about Rihanna's panties and Jada not being invited to the Oscars and things like that. But he's a comedian. That's what he does.
And folks been talking about Jada ever since that whole entanglement shit. And then she had, what was it, the round table? Was that her show that she was
Red
doing?
Table.
Red Table.
Red Table.
You know, she talked about a whole bunch of different things on there, and people had a lot of stuff to say about her. This ain't the worst thing that people have said about her.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. And folks, listen, I'm not a terrible person. I'm not a hater by any means. I'm fair to everybody, but it's alopecia.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention the fact, I still think Jada is a beautiful woman with that bald head.
Yeah. Like, she been rocking that. Like, if I didn't know she had alopecia, I'd have been like, oh, yeah, it's Jada.
She rocking the bald head.
Yeah.
That's not out of the ordinary.
And by the way,
like,
not that I would watch it, but she would have made a good G.I. Jane. She's got the physique. She's got the physique for it.
Fair enough.
She got the attitude.
Fair enough.
She got the fucking haircut.
Set it off, Jada Pinkett. Minister Society, Jada Pinkett. I love her.
Now, on the other hand, I also think it was an old fucking reference, and maybe he should have got slapped for that old ass G.I. Jane reference.
Nobody knows fucking. You know, all the kids, who saw that, they were just like, "What's G.I. Jane?"
Exactly on a comedian level, I think it's like, Chris, come on, you know.
I think as far as the slap, like, you got to understand when you go to these award shows, you're entering sort of like a social contract, right?
Right.
They know. I mean, if you've been to an award show, you know that there is, you got a host or you got whatever, the presenters, they'll make jokes too. That's part of the process. You can't be so thin-skinned about
it's
shit
a
like
show.
this. It's ridiculous.
It's an award show, right? And that's what he does. He hosts award shows. They tell jokes. I think Ricky Gervais has done it.
Chris fucking Rock, dude.
I mean, come on. It's Chris Rock.
Nobody talks shit better than Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock is a shit-talking dude. Like, if you watched any of his stand-up, he talks shit about women in general. He talks shit about everybody. Like, if Chris Rock gets up and starts doing this thing and he's not talking shit about somebody, then he ain't doing Chris Rock.
I hear all these people saying, well, he was defending her honor and this and that.
No, he
bullshit.
But that's the thing. By doing what he did, he actually did not defend her honor. He made her look even worse.
Yeah. Because the way it's being portrayed in the media is like, you know, she sicked him on Chris.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
like, she gave a little like, oh, yeah, you gonna let that slide?
Well,
that type of thing.
Will, in his speech, Will was like, I'm the angry black guy. I'm the what did he say? Something like that?
No, he's the crazy. Flawed father figure, whatever.
Whatever.
But then he went on to say something that he was protecting the girls, the ones that played Serena and Venus on the.
And that's the other thing.
What are you talking about?
The Williams family.
They don't need protected?
The Williams family may
on the set?
They may have been applauding him at his acceptance speech, but again, he also sort of dishonored them. That was their night. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. I think if Will had that big of a problem with it, I think it would have been. Don't you just catch him backstage? That's what I'm saying. The story should have been Will Smith jacked up Chris Rock backstage after. You know, it wasn't on camera, because
it could have been on the cell phone. Camera,
but
they would have been like, "Oh shit," you know. But at that point, at that moment, in backstage, does Chris Rock not that tearing the Will Smith's ass? Is it not a brawl then instead of just getting slapped in the face?
And that kind of segues into the larger question that I wanted to ask: is when do you fight and when don't you fight? Because, like we talked about earlier, like I said, I don't care where I'm at or what I'm doing. If somebody walks up and slaps me the way Will slapped him, we gonna tussle.
I feel like the Oscars is not the place to do it. Everybody says he handled himself very well. He did.
Of course.
But there was a moment in there where you could see that, where's Chris Rock from?
New York.
Bronx, right. You saw that come out of him.
He was like, I could have.
Like 2 seconds, right? Like, he was just like, that hand unfolded.
Yeah.
It was up, just like it opened up.
No.
And you seen him kind of come back, and he was like, ha ha. And then he was about to say some shit, too.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, you know,
he was about to say something.
He was about to say something.
And he looked over to his left and was like, "You want me to continue, or you want me to fucking leave?"
Yeah,
yeah. Like, he stopped. You know, so
he handled it well, but
the Oscars is not the place.
Well, I got a hot temper, and you know, it'll take my wife to tell you about it.
Let me tell you this though: the grocery store, go crazy. War machine, go crazy. Somebody walk up to slap you next to the eggs.
I'm putting them in the middle.
You got my permission to go ahead and lose it.
You know what? I got a good hard line where you don't retaliate. If you're wearing a fucking tux, you don't retaliate. Because you got the slippery ass shoes that you're wearing.
Oh, yeah, you can't really. It's not gonna be
nothing.
good.
Here's a secret. I'm gonna tell y'all. If y'all ever see me take my shoes off,
it's down.
It's go time.
Yeah.
Because I fight barefoot.
Yeah. Congo, huh?
Nah, that's where I'm the most comfortable.
I know you.
Do you have those little what do they call, like those ninja, those
little ninja boots,
little toe shoes, whatever?
Barefoot. Like you go.
I see people at that fucking gym squatting and they have those things on, and I'm like,
let me find out you got your shoes off and you getting your ass whooped because they done stepped on your toes.
Oh, you're not gonna look, bro. When I start doing my thing, it's gonna be quick and efficient.
Yeah,
ain't gonna be no stepping on no toes.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna throw about 3 or 4 strikes, and it's over with.
That's all I got anymore. If I can't get you down with one or two good ones with all this weight behind me. And
I'm not even throwing. I'm not even gonna throw punches. I'm gonna put
that's because you're gonna be out of steam.
Well, not only that, but I'm probably just gonna shoot you.
I'm not throwing punches, bro. I'm telling you,
get away with it.
I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna put you in the clinch, and I'm either gonna hit you with some elbows and some knees, and that's it. Like I'm not gonna break my hand, punch you in the face.
Yeah,
but if I got shorts on and I take my shoes off, I'm about to kick you.
And that goes for either one of you. Okay, you got my permission. If you get slapped at the grocery store, at the restaurant, outside of Sunday,
I get slapped anywhere.
Go ahead. Don't worry about it. I'll come get you. Don't worry about it. I'll come get you. Don't worry about it. Just man, he hit me and I was out there. Enough said.
I'm not going for it because the way I believe is like, I'm never going to put my hands on somebody.
Yeah.
Right? I'm never, and the expectation is that you can say whatever you want.
Well, that's why I would come get you because I know you're not finna go out here in the street and just be like, what you looking at?
Nope.
You want some of this? No,
I ain't got time for
I know you got a good reason. Cause that's why I tell people, if I ever have to go to jail, just come get me. Cause it was a good reason. It was a good reason. Yeah, I ain't just go because this motherfucker stepped on my shoe.
Like the last time I had, it wasn't even an altercation, but the last time was Nancy is the manager of my son's soccer team. So she went across to talk to this coach. He's known to be a hot-headed coach. So we had just beat his team. We go across over there, and she asked him because we have to buy soccer balls. You have to play with a certain type of soccer ball.
Right.
So at the end of the game, you always got to collect your soccer ball. So we were missing one. So she goes over there. So first, my son goes over there and asks him, and he kind of blows him off. So then my wife goes over there and it's like, "Hey, we're missing. You got to have a soccer ball." And then he gets in her face, and he's like, "I told him," and he points to my son that we don't have his soccer ball. So he's pointing his finger. And he's in my wife's face. Mm-hmm. So I walk over there because I was on my way across. So I walk over there and I get in his face. I said, "Look here, homeboy." I was like, "You're not finna talk to my wife that way and you ain't finna put your finger in her face." And, I wasn't balled up ready to fight this guy. I wasn't gonna hit him or anything, but I let him know, like, bro, hey, you're not finna do that. And then another guy, he comes up and he's like, "Hey, the police are over there." I was like, I'm not worried about the police. I'm not about to break the law. I'm just letting this guy know that he's not going to talk to my wife and he shouldn't talk to any woman in this manner, putting his finger in her face, Right. But that's the closest that I've gotten to any sort of altercation in public. I don't believe in that kind of stuff.
When do you think, folks? When is a good time for you to fight? Leave it in the comments. Let us know.
If you put your hands on me, on my people, like you was talking about that little kid, you spit on somebody at the school the other day.
Yeah.
You spit on me, you might as well hit me upside my head with a baseball bat because I'm coming.
Well, it's the same thing. It's an assault.
Yeah,
I'm coming. What the fuck you got?
I'm coming. Like, that's disgusting. I'd rather you punch me in the face than spit on me.
Leave a comment below. When is a good time to fight? We'd like to know. And for the best ones, we'll read them next time we come on the show, right?
Yeah.
I think that'd be hilarious. Let us know. Or also let us know where you've gotten into a fight that was unusual,
And for the record,
church.
If you don't want to get slapped in the face.
Love a good church fight.
Yeah. For the record, if you don't want to get slapped in the face, watch your mouth. Not saying Chris Rock should have got slapped, but when you start talking shit, you need to be prepared for what comes because everybody don't live by the same rules.
Yeah, his circumstances are different. But in his case, they do. Like Will Smith lives by those, I'm a superstar, I'm in this, he's in that realm. He's not like, he didn't just come off the streets of Philly
That's true.
the day before. No, bro. You've been doing this. You get, like what Chris Rock said, you get $20 million for Wild Wild West. Nah, bro. You know where you at. Stop it. You know?
I think
Like,
if I'm worth $20 million, I don't need to slap
No,
nobody.
he's worth more than that, but I'm just saying he got that for one picture.
I'd be like, hey, no, here's 15 grand. Go over there and slap shit out
Right.
Rock for me.
And then when they arrest your ass, I'm coming to
I
get
got you. I got your lawyer and everything.
Yeah, they ain't gonna stick. Charges ain't gonna stick.
Ain't gonna stick.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But anyway, folks, y'all leave that down in the comment section below. Let us know where it is a good place to start a fight, end a fight.
You should never start a fight.
Don't ever start a fight according to War Machine.
If you the type of person that walks out
War
looking for a
Machine
fight,
said don't start a fight.
don't start a fight. Don't start a fight.
I think
I'll
Peace
end-
Machine ought to be saying that,
I'll
not
end
War
that
Machine.
shit though. I'll win that.
Yeah, okay. Well, let us know. What's the next thing we got on the rim?
So we got this thing going on in our country right now where some people find it okay and acceptable for men to participate in women's sports under the guise of them saying, I now consider myself a woman, which is fine. And you have every right to do that. And I think it's, if that's who you are and that helps you get through life and you feel comfortable and good and say, you know what, I think that, you know, I'm different than how I look and that's how I want to carry myself. Cool. I don't have no problem with it. However, I do have a problem when you enter into that world of athletics and sports. So we have Leah Thomas, who was a male swimmer, and now she identifies as a female and is killing the game in the female ranks. What do you think about that, Noah?
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. I believe that you should be able to do whatever you want, as long as it's not illegal and as long as it's not hurting or affecting other people.
Right.
So if you're transitioning, good for you. Where you start getting into gray territory is when you start competing outside of your own field. And I'm getting tired of these people, these wrestlers, these
MMA fighters,
weightlifters, swimmers now.
Track and field.
It's getting out of control because these female swimmers have spent their whole life preparing for these moments.
That's right.
And then it gets taken away.
Yeah.
And that's my thing, right? That's
all the time and money.
And not just getting taken away, but it's getting taken away by a man. And you can say, "Oh, she's a woman." She's biologically a male.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, right? Women should be. I'd be outraged. I mean, it's one thing to, you know, bring a new woman into the fold and tell them, hey, you know, we're accepting of you, this and this and that or whatever. But some of these girls been training since they were 4, 5 years old. Hard. They trying to get to the top. And then all of a sudden, when you think you're right at that mark, here come this 6'2", broad shoulder female.
And by the way,
who's swimming like a dolphin in the water. And you like, my dreams are crushed.
Look, on the podium, that picture.
Yeah.
He is a giant.
A giant.
Compared to the other two women.
Right.
That's not right.
And people want to try to justify this by saying, well, he is a woman or she is a woman because gender is fluid. You can be whatever you want. And I
not just that, but they say that, okay, now they're taking estrogen now or whatever.
But that still doesn't take away your bone density and your muscles and all these things. It's like you're still
that's not fluid.
Exactly. You're still a male. You're still built a certain way. Our skeletons are different. Now, that's why when you dig up a bone from 2,000 years ago, they're able to distinguish that this is a female and this is a male. Not that, this was a transgender. You can't, it's male or female. You know what I'm saying? And it's just getting to, and then you can't really say anything like what we're saying now.
Right.
You know, some people would think that we shouldn't be able to do this.
We're transphobic.
Yeah, we're transphobic. And it's like, nah, I genuinely say when I don't care about that, I genuinely don't.
I don't either. I mean, that's fine. But this is a form of cheating. I mean,
That's all it is.
It's just a form of cheating, and I feel like
he couldn't hack it in the men's division.
That's right.
So he wants to go to the women's.
That's right.
Now look, read that top part right there for me. And this is the other.
Yeah, have Nolan read because every time we had you do it on
Do you want me to read it?
16 members of the University of Pennsylvania's women's swimming team have asserted their transgender teammate Leah Thomas should not be allowed to compete in an upcoming competition.
Good.
Keep going.
You can read that top line here.
The top line. On Thursday, the members of the team, whose names have not been disclosed, sent a letter to school and Ivy League officials asking them not to take legal action against the NCAA's recently updated transgender policy, according to the Washington Post. And by the way, this is by Nicholas Rice, people.com.
Right. So, which I'm going to post that on there. I always post it on the title and where you can get this article from and who it's by. Because not only do we have a problem with it or outside, your own teammates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your own teammates say, you know what, this not right.
There's very few people who support this.
Right.
You know what? And look, I don't encourage, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say something very controversial.
Do it.
You guys might not agree. I don't encourage bullying, but these motherfuckers need to be bullied. Someone needs to put these assholes in their place because the media is not doing it. They're encouraging it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They think it's great. I don't think it's great. I don't think men, a biological male, should win any award that, like the I seen the Woman of the Year is Joe Biden's, I think, Secretary Education.
Right.
Transgender. It's like, why are we allowing? I think Bruce Jenner, or I should have said Caitlyn, won Woman of the Year. Like, no. Let's not take things away from women and start giving it to men because now these men are saying they're women.
Yeah.
And let me be clear, by the way, about that bullying comment I just made. I'm not talking about trans people in general. Mm-hmm. I'm only talking about the fucking people that are taking advantage of that situation and cheating.
Yeah.
That's the only time I'm talking about.
And do you really feel good about winning? Like I like to do martial arts, right? If I went into a tournament or did an amateur fight and I'm smoking women, like, am I really that good of a fighter?
No.
You know what I mean? It's like I put a wig on and I start kicking the shit out of women. Am I really that awesome?
There was an article that someone posted that about a female runner. I can't remember if she was Kenyan or...
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, but so this is happening, right, with Leah Thomas, but this Kenyan girl, they say they're not sure if she's a male or her body's producing too much testosterone, and they don't want her to let her run. But she was born a woman. She's running as a woman.
But because she got too much testosterone, she can't run with women.
Right.
So
but I could come out there with my hard leg and say I am a woman, and they,
yeah, like
people's priorities are so fucked up.
Like, what do you do? Like, so you make her take estrogen as well, and she's already a woman? Didn't make any sense.
I think maybe this all started, the competition part. I think it all started with the participation trophies. Everyone needs to get a trophy. Even if you can't hack it in the men's division, now you want to play as a female, you just want that trophy. You know what? Go play a sport that you can actually fucking win. How about that?
Yeah. Or be better.
Yeah, put more effort in.
Yeah, be better. Because as Leah Thompson, she's number one. But as what was his name before? I don't remember. I don't know, but he was.
I didn't know who he was.
He was ranked 462.
Yeah, and that's okay.
462.
That's okay. Like,
right?
There are thousands, millions of athletes who play a sport that don't reach the top of it, and it's fine. You know what I mean? It's everybody can't win championships and medals. You know, you should be able to participate, and you just have to be okay with the fact, like, look, I played basketball in high school. There was no way in hell that I was ever going to play college basketball, and I couldn't even sniff at the NBA. I'm not tall enough. I'm not good enough, and I'm okay with that. Right. I'm not going to say I'm going to be a woman so I can play professional basketball because you just got to be okay with it. Some things we're just not ever going to be. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to do. I'm never going to be a UFC fighter.
Do you agree with, and they've been doing this for a while, I mean, not every team has it, but like high school or even junior high male sports, like take high school football, for example. Mm-hmm. You get like a girl in the school that wants to be on the team. They put her as like a kicker or something. Do you agree with that?
That's fine because there's no advantage for her.
Right. She's just as good as whoever they had before or better. That's why they put her out there.
There's no advantage for women to play in men's sports. There's no sport where a woman has an advantage over a male. There's not one sport.
Ballet, maybe? I mean,
No.
I know there's male ballet.
But they're not competing against each other.
Okay,
You know, it's they're dancing.
Yeah.
Maybe a dance competition.
Well, you know, to get on the...
I don't know.
I'll give you.
I don't know if they have
like
a
on the
ballet
squad,
dance
though.
competition.
Like,
Maybe, I don't know.
But I think on those ballet teams, I think they have certain roles where I say team. Excuse me for ballet people if I'm saying this wrong. But
Somebody out there.
But I think they have in their shows, and I'm very ignorant to this. But I feel like that they have roles that men play,
right,
and they have roles that women play. In that, like, you don't see a man grabbing and hosting up another male and twirling them around.
Well, they may have a show like that. I have no idea.
I just can't think of seeing it.
I'm just saying, like, there's probably some show, but I have no idea.
But even figure skating, where they have the couples or teams, it's one male, one female. You don't ever see two dudes. It's true. Doing the little tricks and twirly twirls together.
Ice and Fire.
Ice and Fire.
Fire and Ice.
What is that?
Will Ferrell movie.
Oh man, but that's
No.
I was like, I don't know that.
What is it called?
Blades of Glory.
Blades
Blades
of Glory.
of Glory.
There you go. But they were Fire and Ice, right? That's what their team name was, right? Or whatever.
Even
I don't
cheerleading. You know, males. There's a lot of men that are cheerleaders, and they're straight men, and they're very athletic, very strong. Probably beat the shit out of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not at the top of the pyramids. They're at the bottom. They're holding the women up.
Right.
Like, could you imagine it's, a 5'4" woman holding up a 6'2", 214-pound man? It's just, there's certain roles that you play.
I think I'd like to see that.
I'm sure they can do it. I'm sure these women are definitely strong enough. You see Scimone Biles.
Yeah.
Right? You see her, how she's built. I'm pretty sure she could pick all three of us up and slam us down on the ground.
I'm sure.
With relative ease.
Sure.
Bro,
you
see how that woman can throw herself into the air and
she's got a small body weight.
Yeah,
but I'm much heavier than she is.
But
I bet she could pick your ass up.
She might be able to pick me up, but she can't slam me down.
She could. I bet you Scimone Biles could pick you up and dump you. I bet you she could. No. I put money on it. Scimone, if you're watching this, take us up on this challenge. We will film you picking up.
No disrespect.
I think she's a fantastic athlete. And I do too. And I think she could pick you up and toss you.
I like to see that too.
I think if you wrestled with her, she would manhandle you.
Well,
she's very strong.
I know she is.
She's stronger than you.
No, she's not.
I put money that she's stronger than you. No. Yes. No. Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's
no.
She's a little person. She's stronger than you.
Trust me.
I can guarantee you.
It wouldn't be very long.
If you got to a wrestling match with Scimone Biles, she'd get the better of you.
No. No. I'm sorry.
Nothing.
I know she's an Olympian. I know she's super strong. I know that her muscle fibers are so ripped and I get all that. I'm telling you, she won't.
Professional athlete strength is different. It's different.
Wouldn't he be embarrassed though if she came out there?
No, I wouldn't be embarrassed.
I wouldn't be embarrassed. I'd wrestle her and
I'd give her a high
I'd try really hard, and I think she would probably out wrestle me. And I think it would be an honor. It'd be an honor.
Well, yeah, okay. Well,
dude, I've fought with women. I've sparred with women, right? And they hit hard. They're strong. They're strong enough. Devra, what's up, my girl? We used to call her the hammer, right? Mm-hmm. She was 40-something years old.
Devra
Taxer. It's my homegirl. She has a right hand that if she hits you with it, you know that you just got punched. Pow!
Right. And she's training to fight.
Yes.
Scimone Biles is not a fighter.
But Scimone Biles is strong as fuck.
She is.
And I'm telling you, if she grabbed a hold of you, she'll throw you around.
I don't know. Listen.
You mean if I let her?
No, I'm talking about if you going and she's going, I guarantee you.
No.
She's going to get you.
No.
I don't know about all that.
Okay, what about an arm wrestling match? Who's winning?
She beat you.
No.
Oh,
no.
Bruce,
no.
I'm telling you,
Like even Simone is like, Bruce, no, that's not true. I promise you.
I'm telling you.
No, she's sitting out there. She's watching this shit. She's like, I can take him.
Professional athlete
like,
strength is different.
All right,
it's different.
I understand that.
It's different. I'm telling you.
All right.
I don't know, folks. What do you think? Would you like to see Simone Biles and Nolan go? What you think? If you think you can take Nolan, hit us up in the comment section.
Look, she won't win, and I'll tell you why.
We will film it.
I'll tell you why. Even if I feel like she's about to start overpowering me, I'm gonna just make fun of mental health and then watch her wig out.
Oh, that would be the worst thing.
Yeah, I know you
do.
just gonna
now she's wrestling. Now you done pissed her off.
She's all amped up. You know?
Yep.
So I'm
attacking all the weaknesses, mental, physical.
Can you? Okay.
I'm kidding.
Have you ever wrestled with someone who's smaller than you, right? But they're fast.
Yeah.
So imagine she'd be crawling all over your ass like a little spider monkey. And I'm not calling her a monkey, please, but I'm just saying, like because she's small and agile, she'll be all over your ass before you even can think about doing anything.
You know what? I'm down for the challenge because watch, it's gonna get freaky.
It might.
We'll get turned on.
And that's probably what she'll do too.
Yeah.
She's like, look, I'm gonna fucking tickle his nipple a little bit, and then right when I'm gonna fucking and then your ass is bruh. I got my money on Simone.
So let us know, Simone. We're down for it. The Park Show 1 at YouTube. You can find us there. Park Show 1 at YouTube. Hit us up. We'd love to meet you. Nolan said he's got a couple words for you.
Nolan said he can whoop you. I'm with you because I don't want you to whoop me.
I think I'm gonna take Simone too.
Hashtag out of shape idiot challenges Simone.
Bruh.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that professional athlete strength is different. I'm telling you. It's different.
So what do we got next on the plug? Let's go ahead and let's keep it moving.
Okay,
keep
so
it rolling.
while we talking about fighting, we've been talking a lot about fighting today.
Yeah.
So we might as well keep the trend going. So I haven't been really watching the news, but Charles, you said something about the Russians are retreating now. I know we spoke about Ukraine before this shit jumped off, and I didn't think it would happen, so I was totally wrong in my prediction.
Well, I think they are retreating in the sense that they're pulling back in some major cities that they were trying to overtake, right?
Yeah.
They've not given up, but they have maybe they are regrouping. I don't know what the Russian strategy is here.
They're taking L's.
But apparently Ukraine is whooping that ass, you know? So, and good on them, you know?
And I have a theory.
Good on them.
I have a theory.
You know, hanging in there, you know?
If I had to put money on it, the little bit that I got a little bit, I would say that there are American Special Forces guys on the ground, not engaged in combat, but they are advising, and they are giving these guys tactics that we're definitely giving them massive amounts of intel.
Sure.
You know, I'm sure we got satellites flying over. We know exactly where the Russians are, where they're moving. You know, one of the things that they did was they had their tanks in this long fucking convoy. So you think about, right, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, okay, you've got a 40-mile long convoy, right? So let's bog the roads down so you can't get over them. And then once we bog you down, not to mention they're running out of gas and shit, their logistics is terrible.
Yeah.
But we'll just take pot shots with those missiles, the javelins.
Yeah.
And just blow their shit up.
Yeah. I mean, look, if they continue on the path that it's not looking good for Russia. Okay. So maybe they are retreating to try to get a better strategy together, or maybe that was the strategy all along, or maybe they just thought, well, we'll roll over them in a week. We'll be
That's
good
what
to
they
go.
thought.
You know,
But
you think?
I'm sure that's what they thought.
They're like, we're just going to press forward. We're going to roll over them in a week. We'll have this thing under wraps and we can be back drinking vodka by, you know, in the next week. We'll be good.
That's what they thought. But, you know, the Ukrainians is not going for it.
Nah, good on them. Like I said, good on them.
And I think it's egg in the Russians' face because, you know, they walk around here with their chest poked out, you know, comparing themselves to United States military, thinking that they could do what we do. And now the world is seeing like, well, your military is not very good. Right. They always compare their aircraft to ours.
You know what? I'm just glad that finally look, I'm not glad. I mean, war is not a great thing, right? But the silver lining is I'm just glad it's not Americans in this war for once.
Right.
It's nice to see other countries going at it instead of us. It's not nice. That's the word. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's war. It's perpetual war.
Yeah.
There's a war going on everywhere. We just don't hear about it. But there's war in many places going on, different factions and.
You notice it was like, I mean, he entered Crimea, 2012? 2014.
Mm-hmm.
But when did we finally get out of Afghanistan? Was it like 2 years ago? Last year?
It was last
year.
A few months ago.
And so that's when he did the push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any correlation?
Well, I think the reason why he felt emboldened to do it is because he knew that Americans, we don't have a taste for war right now.
Well, I think it's Biden's administration.
Yeah, and I think he knew that Biden probably is not going to be the guy that says let's blow shit up and shoot shit.
Especially the way they left Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Right? They left Afghanistan and it's like, okay, well, Afghanistan, Putin's probably looking, he's like, oh, they told him to leave or shit, all hell was going to break loose in 30 days. So if they don't get out of there, then,
Yeah.
So, of course, they left in a hurry. And I think he was watching that, probably saying, well, what are they going to do?
Exactly.
Like,
he's probably thinking, well, shit.
Let's see what they do.
Biden
see what Papa Joe does.
Biden is retreating from his own war. Well, not his, but America's own war.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to intervene in someone else's war.
Exactly.
Right.
And we did. And if the only thing that Biden has been clear about his whole presidency is the fact that we're not fighting.
Right.
We're not going to go kinetic again. That's the only consistency that he's had.
No boots on the ground.
No boots on the ground.
Even though there's probably a few boots on the ground.
Oh, there's definitely.
Fellas, come on. We know.
Do you think America should be more of a isolationist country?
No.
A philosophy?
No.
Or do you think we should intervene like any chance we get?
I think we definitely need to use our military and political influence because you have Putin's and your Kim Jong-il's and your the guy in Iran. There are these people out there who are built from the same cloth as Hitler who would do these sorts of things to people around the world. So
given the chance.
So do I think we should blow everybody up? No, but I think we need to be to be a country that says, okay, we're not gonna fuck with you and you can live how you want to live, but what we won't do is allow you to do shit like Hitler did, kill a bunch of innocent people. And some people would have the argument, well, America does the same thing. Like, look at how we went into Iraq. And I would say there is a lot of parallels with us invading Iraq and Putin invading Ukraine.
Do you think it's anybody out there that is still of the mindset of world domination?
Yes.
Well, hold on. There is a difference. There is a difference in us going to Iraq. We had no...
Then what are they waiting on?
They can't. I mean, the Chinese, but they're doing it economically. They're taking over the world. So militarily, is there a country that can fight us head to head? Absolutely not. But there's other ways to be dominant. And economically, China absolutely is taking over things as far as economics.
They're making islands and shit.
Yeah, and they sell us everything that we need to live.
I know.
Everything on this table is probably made in fucking China.
Well, I'm glad that Joe Biden's got a big push about let's start up, made in the USA products again.
Chico, California.
Whether that be, a hard task ahead, at least he's taking it head on. He's like, hey, we need to start making our own products again. Because truly, that is the only way you are considered a...
But that's not his idea. Trump he is the last president in I don't know how long who had a focus on American industry and bringing things back. Like, Trump was it Caterpillar?
He did that deal with Caterpillar.
Well, they were going to put their, I think it was Caterpillar. Don't quote me on this, but it was a Caterpillar or another large company.
John Deere.
No, it was Caterpillar.
They're going to put their factory in Mexico. And basically Trump said, fine, if you do that, you move it there, then we're going to tax the shit out of you to bring your products back into the country and to sell them. So they made it to where economically it didn't make sense for them to. So those jobs stayed here in America as opposed to send them down there to Mexico. So, I think Trump did a lot of that. And, this is not a pro-Trump sort of a thing I'm doing here. I'm just saying, Trump was very much America first.
Well, I'm about being fair, right? I mean, no disrespect on that end. Like if he, whatever he did to support the country, he did to support the country. But as we sit, somebody has to further that agenda, right? Somebody's got to keep it going. And that's what he's doing. And I don't know if he's getting any credit for that, but he should be getting some credit.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, right.
Make sure Americans can eat.
Right. I mean, that's just what we need to do. So before we get into our next topic, we're going to talk about what we're sipping on today. Just
Matter
a little.
Of fact, grab me one of these out of there.
Well, and that's the thing. Tell everybody what that is.
So this is a Belgian style ale. It's made out of Fort Collins, Colorado. So I don't know how Belgian it actually is, but I'm just tripping. It's a Belgian style drink. It's pretty good. It's not bad.
Okay. And I think we ought to switch it up a little bit too, so everybody get a little taste.
Okay, well, give me one of his
IPAs. You go. Tell them what you drink.
Sierra Nevada.
Love Sierra Nevada.
Not Nevada. Hazy Little Thing IPA. Not bad. I think I've had these before.
Sierra Nevada I love their, they have a beer called Torpedo.
Okay.
I love those things. They're IPAs. Delicious.
Okay. There's one of those.
Boom.
And what I am sipping on is a Corona.
Excuse me.
Keep it to yourself. Limonada. This is the watermelon flavor. It's not bad. Very refreshing on this warm Texas day. You can call it whatever you like. But it's not bad. It's good. It's very good. I think we all switch it up a little bit. You want to try?
Let me get one of those tripels.
I think you're the only one that really want to be on them lemonades.
I might have one.
Yeah. I mean,
You got an opener? I got one.
Yeah. So, since I did kind of finish this off, I think I will.
Go and get your beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna try one of the.
Thank you.
One of the Belgian beers here, and then we can talk about how good that is. The one thing, like I was telling you when we got these, these ales, these ales, they're a little heavy for me. They're a little heavy for me.
No, but that one is not. It's not too dense.
It's not too dense. No. Okay, sometimes you get one and you don't want that full on.
She got a little ass on her.
Heaviness in a beer,
But see, that's a good cookout beer, man. Like if you have a bunch of these at a barbecue or something like that, you can drink these because they're not too heavy.
Oh yeah.
And don't let the bottle fool you. They're not really that dark of a beer.
Yeah.
It's really not a dark.
It looks like a blonde almost.
Yeah, it's not a dark beer at all. So it's a good.
8.5.
Is it really?
Damn.
Maybe that's why I'm so chatty, huh?
This is only 6.7.
I might have to check Nancy over this bottle opener because she carrying this around in her wallet. She ready for anything.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all don't know what we're talking about. This is a little bottle opener. It looks like a little credit card Bruce stole from his wife. But it's cool. It's metal.
Oh, that is refreshing.
Yeah.
So,
It's got a good little aftertaste.
Yeah.
Nice and cold.
That's nice, huh?
Yeah, it's good.
here you go.
Thank you, sir. Keep this.
Sometimes I feel like-
Put it on top of the page. So where
See, all brewed with spice. Ale brewed with spice, sorry. Sometimes I have like a Belgian style ale and I'm like, it has like a...
pissy taste?
No, never. Never a pissy taste. More like a vanilla.
Well, everything pissed to him, it's warm piss.
Well, Nolan he likes beer, so like you.
Everything's warm piss.
Look, I'm a beer whore, right? I'll drink anything. However,
Same.
I do like a good quality beer. You know what I mean? It's like if you busted out some Bud Lights, I drink the Bud Light.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you Bud Light's a fantastic beer. Like there's levels.
Sure. Okay. This isn't bad. It didn't actually taste as heavy as I thought it was gonna taste.
Nah.
Especially after we've had full meals and
Now,
all of that.
after my second sip, I can't say I would have a 6-pack of these. You know, a lot of these beers that we get on this show, we don't really intend on drinking it.
We just want to try
like
it.
a 12-pack or anything like that. It's more of like a novelty beer, maybe.
Yeah.
But some, you know, I might have more. This one, I might have 2 or 3, and then I'm done.
I'd definitely buy a 6-pack of this, though.
Now, have you had,
IPAs, yes.
have you had the ranch water? Did we get him the ranch water?
I've been wanting to try one of them. Is it good?
They actually, like, he got it. He was the first one to get it. I looked at him like he's fucking crazy. I was like, oh, man, it's going to taste like bath water or something. It was fucking refreshing.
It's very refreshing.
It's like sparkling water.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
It's very refreshing with a little lime.
Yep.
It's
good.
What is, what was that brand that we got?
Was it a Topo Chico? Modelo?
It's Modelo.
Modelo Ranch
So
water?
Modelo Ranch water, folks, is very good. We're not drinking it today. Maybe should have got one to
Dude,
try
I
it out,
still...
but it's very good. Y'all go ahead and try it.
Charles is not with it, but I think we need to have a malt liquor day where we get like some Colt 45, you know, some
Steel
OEs.
Reserve.
Yeah, and we
Oh my God.
and we just because I haven't had it in a long. I used to drink that stuff.
It's a
right?
reason why you stopped drinking that shit, Bruce.
I know, but I'm just
Jesus.
I just want to go back nostalgia and see like if there's like if I can taste it and be like, you know what?
Do you know why I never liked them? You could never get them cold enough.
Malt.
They always tasted like warm.
Piss. Go ahead, say it. Say it.
Well, Mickey's is refreshing. Like a nice Mickey's.
Warm, foamy ass. It just wasn't good.
Now, come on. Schlitz with the Blue Bull, because you know they had the Red Bull. The Schlitz. The Schlitz is delicious. I'm going to go on the limb and say nice cold Schlitz.
One day we'll try what Bruce is saying. We'll go get some malt liquor and
we'll see if we can drink it.
And we'll see if we can drink it.
Might as well
get a pack of Newports while we're at it. Take it all the way. Don't blow now.
Let's do it. We got some cool.
Don't blow now. Shit.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have malt liquor and Newports day, and we're gonna see how long we could stomach.
And we're gonna be wearing starter jackets.
I say we're about 2 to 3 swigs in.
Let's see how long.
And half a cigarette before we like.
See if we can finish
this.
You think you can finish it?
Starter jackets and Jinko jeans.
Oh no,
dude! I remember Steel Reserve 211. We would go. Me and my homeboy D, it's my best friend. We ain't had no money. You know, it was back in those E3 days of being in the Navy.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, so we go down and get $5. We go to 7-Eleven, get a 40, a Steel Reserve, and a hot dog. So we got food, and that 40 of Steel Reserve is gonna take you where you want to go.
Oh,
you're gonna be drunk. You drink 140 of Steel Reserve, you're gonna be drunk.
You know what we used to be on? Those 32-ounce Millers. High Life.
High Life.
The champagne of beers.
No, the best,
I'm an MGD guy myself. MGD
the
is
champagne of beers.
The best.
Alvin Bradley, if you watching, that was for you, buddy.
The best.
He love those things.
Best pregame. And listen, I'm not saying I like them, but I tell you what, you'd be drunk by the time you got to the club. Four Locos.
Oh, man, I ain't never messed with those damn.
I couldn't get it. I've had them before.
Never.
I've definitely.
My God, we would drink those on the way to Palm Springs. It was like a good 30-minute drive. We were blasted by the time we got
there.
there.
Now, look, if you wanted to get shit-faced and you ain't have a lot of money, what'd you reach for? Mad Dog 2020.
Ooh. I was a Wild Hours Rose man myself.
Sure. Mad Dog 2020 or that Cisco. Liquid crack.
Okay, we're gonna have a malt liquor day, and then we're gonna have a wine day.
Did y'all ever ride the train?
Thunderbird.
Y'all ever ride
Night
the train?
train?
Night train. Ooh. You ride that train, boy, you better be ready.
That's that.
You better be ready, goddammit.
Right there.
You better be ready.
St. Ides.
No, what was it? Not
Boone's Farm?
Not sangria.
Boone's.
What is it called?
You can kill some Boone's Farm and you just, give me another bottle.
Yeah, we drink a whole bottle.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called.
Kool-Aid.
Something with an S. I don't remember it.
I don't know. That and that Thunderbird. That Schoolboy Scotch. Y'all ever had that? And Thunderbird and grape Kool-Aid. Oh man, they used to get the honey's rolling.
With a little promethazine and codeine.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I ain't never did no scissor. You ever sipped on some scissor? You know, for me, it's like I couldn't imagine ever doing a drug that makes me go down.
Have seizures.
That too. You know, like me, if I was gonna be a drug addict, I'd be more of a meth cocaine kind of guy.
Oh man.
Like I want to get wound up. I wouldn't do opiates.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see them folks be on opiates and they get the
Oh yeah, they start the nod. Yeah.
Like to me, that's not high. That's not fun. Like I want to get fucking. I'm gonna toot up a bunch of fucking cocaine and run around this fucking backyard like a crazy person.
You want to play football?
Yeah.
And somehow the conversation got to drugs. Can I ask this real quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I was reading an article yesterday, the day before, and I don't remember the new drug, what it's called, but I guess it's starting to become more prevalent, more ODs, and it's supposed to be like 20 to 100 times more potent than fentanyl.
Oh.
And so I was thinking, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Every 5 years, there's a new drug that's even more strong, that's stronger than the next one.
Yeah.
At what point does a drug's potency just cap out?
I think when you sniff it and then your head just fucking explodes, I think that's gonna be the limit.
Where are the levels at?
I think we
Because
were talking
thought
about this.
fentanyl was already 100 times more potent than morphine. So
Well,
where are we going?
We were talking about this before, and I was telling him, that first high that everybody gets from heroin or for whatever, you chasing the drag, you're not going to be able to get that high ever again. Not from that first one.
Right.
But people keep constantly trying, right? And you won't ever get that, whether it be whatever, unless you tried something different. Say you was heroin and then you went to fentanyl or something. Maybe it's a different kind of high. I don't know.
But see,
I never had it.
But see, that's the thing with opiates and heroin addicts in particular. It's like if they on the street and they find out that there's somebody selling some stuff that's making people OD, that's what they go look for.
Right.
Because that's the good shit. That's the strong shit.
Right.
Because if you watched enough, what's that movie? A show Intervention. You watch these people, they go get that bullshit tar heroin. They shoot it up, and then they're like, fuck, this isn't that good.
Right.
But when they hear like, yo, so-and-so got a hold of some shit, the motherfucker almost died.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, who's his dealer? I need that.
Right. They
want even with marijuana now, it's like, the reefer that we got a hold of like in high school with all the seeds and sticks and shit in it.
Swag.
You know what I mean? It's like that shit, that's nothing compared. Like they got stuff now, you take one hit of it, you see sparkles and the fucking sun will start setting on you and you know what I mean? And you wake up 4 days later. So it's people are, you're right.
I think that
Where's
was
the limit?
That was the part of our conversation too, is what were we talking about? Making it legal.
Yeah, man, you got to make it legal.
Right.
You got to make
saying it. Make everything legal, right? Make everything legal. But
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
This is my argument for the last 20 years.
My point is, if they legalize every single thing, weed should be a given, right? They got a bill going right now that they're trying to get passed.
I mean, weed's nothing now.
Right.
It's like if we sitting here drinking this beer, this is no different than somebody sitting out in their backyard smoking a joint. It's not that big of a fucking
The difference is this is going to make me, eventually it'll make me violent or I can't operate heavy machinery. Weed will never do that.
Well,
you'll go to sleep before you try to drive a fucking traffic.
Exactly. Well, my point was that if you legalize everything and say you got to go to a doctor to get this prescription for heroin, right? Well,
quality would be better.
This is the thing. People are addicts, right? So once they run out of that, when they use their little dosage or whatever, and they say, well, you can't come back till Friday, and it's Monday, and they use all of it, what are they going to do?
Well, I don't even think you should have to get a prescription.
You got selling it on the street. Well, you got to get it. You got to get it legalized because
I think we should be able to go into a dispensary, like you could go in California or whatever, and you pick up whatever kind of marijuana you want. I think it should be the same sort of concept.
But they're gonna put a limit on that shit too.
It's either New Jersey or New York. They don't have them all over the place. There's only like one or two, but they're called what is it called?
Non-binary choice?
No. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a center where you can go and you can take drugs, and they administer it for you. And guess what their mortality rate is? 0. They've never had a person OD, and this is all over the world, by the way.
Yeah.
No one has ever OD'd there.
Well, I don't think they would
alone-
OD there. I think the issue that I'm saying would happen is when you can't get your hands on it when you actually want it. then you start with illegal drug trade again, which defeats the purpose.
But I think if it's legal and you can buy it whenever you want, the illegal drug trade would only still be Bruce, a thing.
You won't be able to buy it whenever you want.
Why would you?
You would be able to buy it, but they're going to put a limit on how much you can buy
Why?
at one time. I think that's what they're going to do because you think about it. If somebody goes in and it's like, okay, I'm going to buy all this heroin, all the heroin that I can afford right here.
But people do that now.
No. If you have one of these centers,
they're going to kill themselves.
No. If you have one of these centers, they can get high whenever they want. They just have to come to the center to do it.
I don't even think you need a center. Because
I think you need something.
You gotta have some kind of. They've got paramedics on scene. They know the potency of the drugs that they're administering. They've got the Narcan. They got everything.
But I think at that point it's too controlled. I think because here's the thing, bro. If heroin is legal, right? If tomorrow they say, you know what, heroin's legal and you can go down to the CVS and get your heroin, right? You're not going to start a nasty heroin addict, are you? No. People who don't do heroin aren't going to start doing heroin because it's legal.
I agree.
And I think the people who OD on heroin are going to OD on heroin whether it's illegal or not.
First of all, you got to change people's minds about this shit. You got to take the stigma away from being an addict, okay? Right now, it's illegal. And whenever you see an addict on the street, you go, oh, man, fucking
Well, being an
junkie.
Addict's not a good thing.
That's what no one's saying it's a good thing. I'm saying you got to take away that stigma because what happens when you have a junkie, they know the stigma that's attached to being a junkie, to being an addict. They know that it's not cool and that society looks down on them. So if you change that mindset, things will change.
No. But if people taking drugs, their chemistry in their brain is altered.
Yeah, it fucks you up, bro.
Yeah, like they don't care about when you used to remember we used to hear back in the day, and you might know somebody. I know a couple people, whatever, when crack was prevalent. You had people robbing their own moms, putting them in the hospital, beating them up, trying to grab their purses away from them. Things like that
becomes the priority. So
so you have to regulate it in some kind of form or fashion.
That's what I'm saying. If you get these centers, they can get high whenever they want. You just got to go to the center, and that's fine. An addict will take that.
I think
I'm okay
with that. I don't think I'm okay with dispensaries.
What if I
didn't say a dispensary.
Right.
I just said a center.
I know. I'm just saying.
But what if I want to take my heroin home, sit on my couch, and nod and chill?
You can't. You can't do it.
Then the legal drug trade will be alive and well.
Exactly. It's my point.
But again, you just said if you make it legal. Am I gonna become an addict all of a sudden? No, I'm not. No. So why would that guy go? I'd rather get high at my own house
because that's where he does. That's where he gets high.
But no, the people that want the heroin,
you're not gonna be able to.
But the people that
I'm just gonna get my shit illegally.
Okay, well you can OD then because it's not regulated.
I'm probably gonna OD anyway.
No.
Not at the center.
But I don't want to go there.
Well, then you're gonna OD.
The people that are already addicts. They are already addicts. Okay, you're right. Nobody's gonna say, "Oh, one day, like you know what? I think I'm gonna just go get me a
8-ball."
Just whatever. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that, right? But the people that are already addicts, they're like shit. They just open up the floodgates. Let's come on in and just do what we can do.
There'll be a spike.
If you can't give me what I need, I'm gonna get it on the street.
Look, I think
there'll be a spike.
It'll be a spike, and then that shit'll mellow right the fuck down.
Exactly.
All the people who are it's legal, so I'm just gonna
kill their damn
self. They're gonna all the people who would kill themselves on that shit would do it right away, and then it would be a normal thing.
Yeah,
it would just be like some people do heroin, some people don't. Some people smoke weed, some people don't. Some people like to buy a little cocaine on the weekend, some people don't. You know what I mean? It'll be a very just like now with alcohol, right? We're drinking alcohol. We're not gonna drink ourselves into oblivion. Right? We gonna have a couple beers.
If I have another week like last week, I will.
Yeah, I hear you. But we're gonna have a couple beers, and then we're gonna go on with the rest of our day.
I agree. You're gonna see an initial spike, right? Just like Colorado saw with homelessness and whatever. When they legalize, you get an influx of immigrants, but people immigrating to Colorado. Mm-hmm. But that shit's gonna taper off.
Yeah,
So
taper off.
I don't know. I just think that we have to regulate it in some fashion.
I think we'll be regulated by, it's like you're going to have to be 21 or above to get it. You're only going to be able to get it for certain places. the quality of it is going to be much better because it has to go through all the checks and balances and all that stuff, Food and Drug Administration. So it's like you're not going to be getting heroin laced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And also,
what I'm saying?
And I think that's what the issue would be, right? I mean, but
all right.
So it's a generational thing, you think?
Okay, so
That's what you're saying. It's generational.
so look at cigarette smoking.
Right?
That sort of died off, and I'm not saying, Gen Z or whatever. I'm not saying they don't smoke, but for the most part, they find it disgusting and abhorrent. That sort of died off with millennials. Millennials are really the last generation to keep smoking cigarettes. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And you could say that a lot of it is because people are transitioning to vaping and all that.
Yeah, they all vape.
Fair enough.
Jewels and shit like that.
Fair enough. But as for the most part, that's cigarette smoking is dying off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the same could be said possibly for drug use.
Well, we're bringing it.
No.
I'm just saying,
bringing it back with our,
it's a possibility.
I think we're doing more drugs than we've ever
done before. They're coming up with new shit.
Opiates.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everybody smokes weed,
Still a
bro.
drug.
A lot of people don't really use X anymore.
Everybody smokes
Cocaine's
weed.
kind of dying off.
Yeah, nobody
To who?
Mainstream.
No, it's
Nah,
not.
it's not.
I don't know.
Like, because the people who use powder cocaine, those are...
People used to hide that. They don't hide that anymore.
No, it's
like
not.
people used to hide the fact that they go in the bathroom and fucking get the nose
Oh,
dirty.
not in the 80s. 80s, they do it at the bar.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying between like the 90s, whenever what's her name, Barbara Bush came out with the was it not Nancy Reagan?
Nancy Reagan.
Yeah,
Just
whenever,
say no.
Yeah, like everything was like, oh, it's a faux pas.
Bro, there's certain groups of people,
that type of shit.
and I'm not going to say who they are, but there's certain groups of people, like if you go to one of their parties, like Coke is on the menu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's normal. It's everybody does it. It's as common. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody does it, but it's as common as having beer. You know what I mean? Somebody there has got some, and they know who they are who do that cocaine, and they do it. Like it's not. I think drugs are only just beginning. I think because look at all the synthetic shit that we've been trying to come up with. It's like you got all the fake synthetic marijuana and shit that's coming out. All these kratom and all these synthetic things that people are trying to do to get high or find a way to get high. I think we're only at the tip of the iceberg as far as what drugs are going to be.
What was the name of the movie where they put the little thing on their tongue and
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
No. They put the little thing on their tongue and they can think better, and it was
the one with Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
Mind something or
something or other.
Limitless.
They're gonna
That's
come up with
fucking Adderall right now. People,
yeah, I know they're gonna come up
college
with
kids eat them things like they eat them like Skittles, man.
You watch. There's gonna be some kind of designer drug that they come up with. It's gonna make you think you can fly or some shit.
It's called meth.
It's called Alpha Male.
No, it's gonna be designer. It's gonna be $1,200 a pill. Some shit like that.
Once they
it's not gonna be your bottom trailer park meth that's getting cooked in a camper somewhere. No.
If they had a drug to do a certain thing, what would it be for you, and would you do it? Like, what's something you're like, damn, I wish I could just take a pill and I could do this thing, or I could feel this way.
Oh man, make you smart, I guess.
Smart, okay. So
because that leads to everything.
Right. I mean, I think you would have to say that's pretty good. Yeah. I'd say.
So, I mean, look at the movie Limitless. The dude takes the drug, he writes books, he fucking does this, he does that.
Like Adderall. That's how that shit works. It doesn't make you smarter, but it brings your focus in. So what brain power you do have, you're able to focus that shit and get shit done.
Turn into goddamn Lucy.
And people say that about meth. It's like if the way that meth works,
just have to take their word for it.
Is like meth heads are extremely productive people when they are. No, listen, hear me out. So
where you going with this? Come on.
No, what I'm telling you is like if you talk to a meth head, right? They will say, "I do this, and then I will fucking go clean my house. I'll go fucking.
I hear that shit all the time. But I can clean the house. And then I look at the house, it's a disaster.
That's after you have abused it, and now you are a full-on addict. But I'm talking about like right now, if I were to give you a dose of meth, I don't know, you snort it, smoke it, however the fuck they smoke it, if I gave you some of that, you would fucking go to your house and you would be like, clean it, fucking anything that you needed to do. You would be fucking doing it and you would get that shit done. But the problem becomes is when now you take that meth every day and now you gotta sell all your shit to get more meth. You know, now you're fucking in the 7-Eleven parking lot, fucking jerking dudes off.
My fucking face looks like a goddamn volcano.
But see, but look, I've seen a functioning meth addict. They don't look that way. Like if you got money and you can support your habit, those type of meth heads, they don't have pockmarks and because they can take care of themselves.
But that's not the norm, though.
It's not the norm. I'm saying,
it's not.
Just like there's functioning alcoholics.
You can say that about. There's a professor. I think was it Colombian?
Like microdosing?
Yeah, he's microdosing with
course.
heroin, and he's functioning, and he goes there. I think he's tenured.
That's been around for a long time.
But look, there are functioning addicts.
Maybe it's not heroin. Maybe it's LSD. No, it's heroin.
There's functioning addicts. There's functioning alcoholics. There's people who get up in the morning, fucking drink 4 beers, and do a fucking fantastic job at work.
I'm sure.
You know, and they every single day and throughout the day.
Look at Denzel in Flight.
There's a lot of people like that. I'm telling you, there's a lot of functioning addicts, bro. Like, and you don't know it because they're functioning.
Well, let me
they
ask
go to
you
work
this.
every day. They don't look like shit.
How much would it cost?
How much would it cost? Okay, so check this out, right?
Not drugs. Well, we don't know. Is it drugs?
No, it's not drugs.
No. So our brother Bruce here has come up with a segment
It's a hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical. Okay. Let's call it. Is this a reoccurring segment?
No. It could be. I mean, we can think of different things. To see what the price
right now,
would
folks,
be.
this is a trial run. Yeah. So go ahead.
So my question to you is, how much money would it cost someone to pay your wife to allow you to sleep with them? So how much money would...
Not to sleep with the wife.
No.
To sleep with me.
Yes. So how much money would a woman have to give to your wife for her to say, okay, Charles, you can go sleep with this woman?
$5.
Damn. Okay, realistically.
No, okay. Just a joke, folks. She's not that cheap. I don't know if there's a number. Can you put a number on that? Is there a number?
What do you think? I mean, of course, if a woman comes up to Judith right now and says, I want to sleep with Charles, Judith would probably fucking walk the dogs on, right? You know, but if this woman approached her with a briefcase of money, what dollar amount would she be like,
What was that fucking Robert Redford and Demi Moore,
Indecent Proposal,
and Woody Harrelson?
Yeah. I mean, what? It was $1 million then, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So what's the equivalent now? 20?
Something like that. Yeah.
Probably
20 million.
I mean, like realistically though, like what do you? I'm not. Of course, she fucking.
I don't think
10 million.
I think your question should be more of, would you last after that happens?
Well, that's the whole other thing. I'm just talking about like how much money.
Because it doesn't matter how much money.
First of all, I guess we're talking about the other thing you got to ask. What woman are we talking about? Is it some ratchet bitch?
Any woman.
The price goes up.
Okay, so let's say an attractive woman. Let's say she's rich, she's 50 years old, she's attractive, she's in shape, and she says, I like Charles. I want to sleep with him at least one time. How much, Judith, do you need me to pay you?
You gotta ask them.
Yeah, I know. You gotta ask them.
You're asking the wrong people.
I know, but I'm asking you, like, what do you think her price would be?
Because look, and it also depends on, you said the woman's 50 years old. It also depends on if they think that woman is a threat, because they think in a whole different mindset, right? Like they think, well,
so one time
is it going to continue to happen? But yeah, you say that, but they don't think that in their mind. They're like, okay,
hypothetical. Y'all going into like, well, what happens? No, just hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
like what do you think the amount of money that Judith would say? Okay, I'm willing to allow you to have my husband.
I'd say
10 million.
No. I'd say $50 million.
50?
I think 50. 50. I think we'd be okay with that.
What do you think Nancy would say
afterwards?
Huh? What do you think Nancy would say?
Shit.
$1 million?
No.
100 grand?
Maybe.
Yeah. Tax free?
Tax free, cash.
Oh, you gotta report it to the IRS?
No, it's in a briefcase. Tax free.
Under what? Fuck money?
Yeah.
You gonna write that in on your tax?
All right, well keep it going. I'm gonna bring them, stand them right there, and I'm gonna see what they say. Hold on.
Okay, folks, live right now. You're gonna hear from the horse's mouth.
Really quickly.
what women think.
We're about to fight.
So, what will they say? This is the thing. We're going to get them right here, live on the spot.
Yep. We're going right here.
Right here.
Live.
1 and 2.
Okay.
You might want to close the door. We got cigar and smoke.
Yeah. All right.
1 and 2.
Okay.
Here we go.
So
Bruce, you explain your hypothetical.
So my hypothetical is, how much would it cost, right? So I pose a question to my fellows here. How much money would a woman have to present to you guys? Realistically,
to
like
you, not
to
to
you
us.
guys. Like, and no bullshit. Some woman comes up and says, I want to sleep with Charles, or I want to sleep with Bruce, and I'm willing to pay you. How much money would that cost?
We're just talking about something similar like that in there.
Okay.
So person is-
Wait. Before you start, Bruce, I need you to go over, walk your mic over so they can hear, people can hear on TV. On the show.
Come on over here. Put this.
No, just walk over.
What's your question?
No, that's our question. That's his question. His question is how much. He's asked us.
How much would
He's
this
asked
woman
us how much,
have to pay
and
you?
I've given my answer, and we're gonna see what y'all say.
So the
So-
question is,
Uh-huh.
do you guys want to do it?
No.
It's not about if we want to do it or not. It's how much
Hypothetical.
they're gonna offer you all. Say we're not even in the room when they offer it to you.
That was a good answer.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
Do you guys want to do it? Because my whole thing is, you ain't got to pay me shit.
Yeah.
Go for it. I mean, if he wants to do it, who the fuck? Like, I don't have to do nothing.
Okay, but listen.
Now you're giving like a
Yeah,
woman answer. We're talking
No,
about
that's like a real
a
answer.
hypothetical.
I
If
know.
somebody
That's
wanted to pay you, if somebody wanted to pay
So-
you, how
so-
much money
Okay.
would you be willing to take for it?
Say so think that you were in a room with just this woman, not us. We were all
They don't
doing
even know.
whatever.
They don't even know about
We
it.
don't even know about it yet. What do you think? What do you think? What's the number?
There is no number. Like,
What's the number?
I don't need anything.
See, I told you, look, they thinking ahead of like what's gonna happen after the fact. This is a one-time deal. Nobody's gonna ever see her
You can
again.
make money.
We're not gonna sleep with her again. We're not gonna see her again. She's 50 years old. What else is the
She's 50 years old, divorced. She's like, I seen your husband, think he's attractive. I want to sleep with him. How much do I have to pay you?
right?
What's your answer, Jim?
Just a number. We don't need all the extra stuff.
like-
Just a number. Just a number. That's it.
So why we have to have a number? If I want to make money, I go make my own.
Not that answer. Now.
That's a good
I'm
answer.
not gonna. I wouldn't take.
That's
the
a good
risk.
answer.
I mean, if I
You're
wanna
saying
make
she's
money, I'll make
you're
my
saying
own.
she's divorced.
But we're never gonna see her again.
I don't know if she has an STD. I don't want an STD.
Good. These are all good
I don't want to
answers.
get shit from her.
You know what? This
They
is.
don't even know how to play.
You know, no.
They can't even play.
You know,
Like,
we
we're
were
just playing. We're
no.
not-
But here's the thing: we were just
Are you trying to sleep with somebody?
no. But you know, it's funny because we were just having a conversation in there about money and about millions of dollars, and we both came to the conclusion that we appreciate our freedom more than money, and being able to do things and or peace than money.
So, if a woman,
That's why we're saying
so
what
if
we're
a woman
saying.
comes up with a briefcase full of money and says, "Name your price,"
You hold your mic over there so people can hear.
you guys would say,
Oh, they
"No,
can
just
hear.
go fuck him."
Yeah.
They can
Because
hear.
the thing is, it's like, I mean,
Well, you're gonna do it if you want to, regardless, right?
I mean, it's like whether I make
No,
whether there's money
That's
or
not
not.
true.
Yeah, you are.
That's
you're
not
right.
true.
Like you're according to your hypothetical, you don't even know, right? So
Look closer.
when she walks out away from okay, let's say I take nothing, right? Or I take $1 million. You don't know about it. So when she shows up to your section, you either going to do it or not.
Let's see y'all woman fight.
No.
The-
Now let me say
Woman
this.
fight.
Yeah.
You gonna know. He's gonna know about it because you're gonna have to go talk to him about it. Like, hey, listen, I took this money. This is what you got to do.
So you basically saying, like, do we want to prostitute you guys? How much money do we take to
Exactly.
prostitute our husband?
Exactly right.
Okay, well, if I need that money that bad, I'll just go prostitute myself.
Oh, see, now you're trying to start a
I
fight.
make more money. I mean, I can make more money if
Hey,
you really
listen.
want to be honest
You
with
don't
you.
like the answers, but these are good answers.
So, ladies out there, it costs you nothing.
No, go for it.
Well,
I mean, if I need money that bad, I go
Okay,
for
do y'all want to hear our numbers?
Well, what's your numbers?
My number was 50 million.
Judith.
I said.
See that face change? We're like, well, shit, 50. I don't know.
I mean, if that's what you think you're worth, and that's what you
I
think.
definitely think I'm worth one night of $50 million. I think so. And then
I think if somebody say, "Hey, Nancy, here's $100,000. Can I have your?" Sure.
I think Bruce cheating himself. Just me. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. Yeah.
Wow. So you're a cheap date.
$100,000, man.
I think $50 million will set up, and we get all the counseling and whatever the fuck else we need afterwards for $50 million.
Well, if somebody offering you 100 to come sleep with me, well,
no, that ain't.
I'm gonna have a problem with that 100,000.
Yeah, that ain't.
I'm worth a lot
exactly
more than
right.
$50 million.
I wouldn't take a.
Shit. I don't have a price.
So how much would you pay, would you get paid for if I do to walk up to you? How much you need?
Oh, to sleep with you?
I don't think I'd go. I wouldn't go for it.
And see, there you go. That's what
exactly.
they said.
That's what we're saying.
A realistic number.
Yeah.
I would let somebody sleep with my wife for.
Careful.
Come on, dude. You were begging for a fight.
Huh? It's gonna be a fight at some point anyway. Okay. Realistically, not like some fairy tale like $100 million. I say if somebody came up with a briefcase of like maybe $2 or $3 million and said, if your wife will allow me and you're good with it, I'll pay you $3 million.
You say yeah?
Yeah. I think I can get over it.
I told them, I said, this sounds.
But you have to say yeah. You still have to say yeah.
Did you guys ever see the movie Indecent Proposal?
No.
With Robert Redford and Demi Moore?
I don't remember. I saw it, but I don't remember.
They already answered this question. The dude takes the money for $1 million to sleep with Demi Moore, and it fucks his life up. It fucks the whole marriage up. That's the answer. It would never work.
I think
it goes back to what I just said. That we were talking, and then we said we rather have our freedom and peace.
But it's just sex.
Money's not gonna.
It's not just sex.
You might end up falling in love with that woman, or she might end up falling in love with that man, and there you go. You lose your wife.
Nah, we already stated.
No,
you're never gonna see
you
them
don't
again.
know. You don't know, but but then forever, like let's say
You're never gonna
this
see
man
them
gives you
again.
$3 million, right? But he might be like the best dude
There's
ever.
no might be.
They might be way better.
This
than
is
y'all.
our.
Yeah, and then every time I'll be like, yo, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. Like that. Can you you're not moving the right way.
One at a time.
Wait,
One at
do
a
y'all
time.
not
One at a
remember
time.
that
Please, one at a time.
show on Netflix about that girl in the diary and with her husband?
Yes.
The one that y'all talked about?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
What was that? Sex list?
But there was no money
But
involved.
she had a relationship with this guy.
Yeah.
You don't fall in love with somebody because you had,
Yeah.
even if you have mind-blowing sex, right? One time. You don't fall in love with somebody.
It can happen.
It can't happen. You don't know.
It's
It's
possible.
not.
It could
But
happen.
y'all missing the point. The hypothetical was.
Well, for us, it might.
Listen, the hypothetical was.
So what if it
that you
happens? Like, so you get $3 million, and then I'm like forever thinking about this man with his long penis. I'm like, man, that dude had the best penis ever.
I'll be okay while I'm driving.
Yeah, but
you
see,
would not.
but
No,
see,
you would
but
not.
listen,
You would
the
not.
hypothetical was that
No,
you're
you
never
would
gonna
not.
see him again.
Okay,
No matter
and
what
that's
y'all
the
think.
problem. Because now it's like forever I'm gonna be thinking about it,
Okay,
and I'm like,
Okay, you
dude.
can
But
think.
based on
Listen,
that-
you can think about that
Hold
while
on.
you sleeping on your money. That's
But
fine.
based-
You're like,
but based
okay,
on that,
whatever.
but based
No,
on
you
that-
sleeping on the money. I'm thinking about the man's penis.
That's okay,
That
we-
only makes
How much is a
sense.
penis enlargement surgery?
No, that only
Right, you
that
can
only
buy
makes
one
sense
now.
if you think that you have the biggest dick that your wife ever had. That only makes sense if you think that you are the best that she's ever
Well,
had.
if she thinks,
You know, the idea that you haven't enjoyed sex until you married me, you could tell me that all day long, but I'm just like, nah.
but now you got paid for me to go have this amazing night.
But you can't tell me, and maybe I'm selling myself short. Maybe I am the only man that you've had an amazing night with. But the idea that my sex is the absolute greatest sex that you have ever had in your entire life. My penis is the biggest. It's the most desirable penis in the world, and you've never had anything else.
But see, you're just thinking of the sex, only the sex.
That's it. That's all I care. That's the whole thing.
And the money,
I'm
clearly.
not the money because there's
But
sex
for
without
women, sex.
emotion.
But no, for women, there's like there's sex and emotion.
Yeah, see, it's sort of an impossible
Yeah.
hypothetical because
Sure.
their
Yeah.
answers will always be different than most
Yeah.
men's
Yes.
answers.
Yes. Men.
I don't know. I just don't.
We don't
like
think
when
alike
the
now.
actual act of sex is like penis in the vagina, and for whether it's 30 seconds long or it's 30 minutes long. Like that specific act does not equate to anything else other than that
Can you
act.
pick topic for the next segment, please.
I just think you're just upset that we don't agree with your statement.
No, I'm not upset. I think you're thinking.
I mean, why do we have to be wrong? And why our answer is wrong?
Who said she was wrong?
Nobody. It's a hypothetical.
It's a
But
debate.
you don't agree with it.
Well, yeah,
Just
you were.
because I don't agree with you doesn't mean that you're wrong.
Well, no, listen. They gave the answer. That's it.
That's
the answer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but we that's the answer. There's no debate about it.
I appreciate you thinking that I'm priceless.
There's no debate.
See, that's
Why
a good
is it not
answer.
a debate?
Because we don't think that's a debate.
I appreciate
So
that.
It's our answer. Our answer is our
if I
answer,
ask
not
you
a debate.
question and you answer the question and I counter your answer, that's okay. That's called discussion.
No, we just had an answer that we didn't want to debate about.
Yeah,
That was just our answer.
see,
That's the answer, Bruce.
Note to
That's
self.
That's just
That's
our
the
answer.
answer.
Don't bring him in.
that's the answer. Thank you, ladies, for participating. There's your mic back.
Edit that segment out.
No, we keeping that. We keeping that. Thank you all.
Edit that out. Edit that out. I don't want it. I don't. If you put it on there, I quit.
Okay. I know that was your thing. You brought them out.
You can't quit.
I'm gonna quit.
No, we're debating.
So there you have it, folks. There is straight from the horse's mouth.
There is the fun. Right, what you just witnessed is the fundamental difference between men and women. The fact that we can sit here and laugh and joke about a funny hypothetical, and then you bring the women, and all of a sudden it gets real.
And not so much hypothetical for them, right? They're like, "Oh, you gonna sleep with somebody now?"
I bet you. But see, here's the thing, though. It's a hypothetical now, but I bet you if a bitch walked up and put a briefcase full of money in their face and they can see it, I bet you that answer would fucking change.
Sure, I'm sure it
I
would.
bet you. There's a lot of shit that we say we would not ever do until...
Well, I always say, listen, I got a running joke with my wife that, hey, if I ever run into Oprah and she think I'm hot, then guess what? I'm getting that check, and she go ahead and do it. But do I really think that she would be upset about that? Of course she would. But I also think that, my kids' colleges is paid for, and we can do whatever. We can retire at whatever age we are after I run into Oprah.
As a man,
67-year-old.
I absolutely can separate emotional intimacy,
of course,
from just sex. That's why men...
But you got to think in the back of their mind, they're like, okay, I'm not living up to whatever she did. I don't know what she did. See, it would be one thing. Maybe you should pose the question to them if you watched us, if they filmed it. If you filmed the sex encounter that you had with this 50-year-old woman, maybe if they would feel better about watching it, right? Yeah. Or they would be more pissed off because they'd be like, oh, you did the move with her?
You did the move.
You did the move? And now,
it's like, well, you're not the first one to ever get the move.
Yeah, but she was the last until then. She was the last.
I mean, because
she was like, shit, I might not have been the first, but I'm the last.
Prostitution, right? Like, people get prostitutes for a lot of different reasons. So women who get prostitutes, male prostitutes, they want the connection, the companionship. It's like men, we look at prostitutes as like, it's advanced masturbation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody, well, I ain't gonna say nobody, but I think the average guy who is a prostitute getter, and I'm just, again, this is one of the things my opinion, I don't think that he really, look at how prostitutes look, right? You have different kinds. You got these $1 million beautiful women, and then you got the toothless broad on the side of the corner trying to get crack, right?
Sure.
The fact that the toothless broad trying to get crack gets work lets you know that men are just looking for a place to put it. And he's not like, oh man, fucking Sally with the crackhead Sally with I love her. No.
Yeah.
No. It's advanced masturbation. I don't want to get myself off. I want her to do it. It means nothing.
Well, there's no, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, there's no, after you're married, there's no, oh, you know what? I would love to go get that prostitute on the corner and just tear her ass up. There's no desire to go and say, and this and that. Now, in your scenario, the desire might be money, right?
Yeah.
And that's all. And that's where we would leave it. We're like, oh, you agreed to $2 million? All right, let me go get it done. And I think what would work better for them too is you put a time limit on it. Like, you think they would feel better about 2-minute sex rather than
I mean, that's how long
all
it's gonna
night
be
sex?
anyway.
Well, I think they would feel better about that. If you told them, hey, you know what? I'm going to get in here and I'm going to be ready before it even start. And 2 minutes later, hey, it's all done. Everything's over with. Versus, I'm buying it for the whole night.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going to have breakfast in the morning or some shit like that. That's where their mind go. See, and I think after the fact, they're like, well, what's going to happen afterwards?
Are you going to think about it? No, not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to be thinking about? How I'm going to spend all that fucking money.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be thinking about, oh, man, that was a great night. I sure would love that. No, I'm going to be like, thank you for this opportunity. Let's go to Bali.
Right. Maldives.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah. But see, that's where we are. That's what, how much would it take, folks?
And she's like, well, what if I'm thinking about how big his penis was? I'm like, I know I'm not the only person that's ever been with you. So I don't know what these other dudes were packing. I don't know if they were fucking curling the toes like I do better. But I also don't think about that.
Maybe you go search your house for a diary.
I could. But I mean, do you spend any time thinking about...
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I don't spend any time thinking about the other men who my wife dated. I spend zero time concerned or worried about that.
No. And well, mine was a special case because she was a virgin, but that...
Well, mine wasn't. So...
Yeah, I mean, that was just whatever. But it's still, she dated people. And I didn't, whatever. But I don't think about those things.
And then I'm not an insecure dude to where I'm just like, is my dick the biggest you ever had? Am I the only man to make you make this sound? Like, you're an insecure son of a bitch if you are concerned about how other men were with your woman before you got it.
But I posing a question to them about this is just like, you might as well be asking them how much money will it take for them to go sleep with somebody. You know what I mean?
First of all,
they're not gonna answer that correctly. They're not gonna answer that straight up. It's the same thing.
But I mean, like,
I think the idea that any guy can put his dick to a woman that would make her never leave that guy is very egotistical.
Exactly.
That woman would leave in a heartbeat if you're just a dick, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's more than just the sex, like they said. It's emotions and other things.
And that's why I'm saying that in this scenario, none of that will come into play because it's just genitals touching each other.
Well, okay. Let's leave it at that, and we'll have the people comment, how much would it take for you?
They got fucking the machine fired
How
up
much
again.
would it take for you, for your significant other, your spouse, whoever, partner, for you to let them go out and have a rump roast overnight?
I think a couple $1 million, I'll probably be able to get over it.
I don't think I ever would, man.
Why?
Because I have a thing about adultery. I don't.
Well,
like
it wouldn't be necessarily adultery.
It is though. It is though. Yeah.
You okayed it. It's not adultery. If it's adultery when she's sneaking around and she's doing it behind your back, and
it is adultery.
But if
that's a whole nother topic, which y'all trying to define right here. But nevertheless, y'all leave a comment.
I'm not trying to smoke this little ass shit. It's a whole.
We'll get you another one. What we will move on to is what we call a little bit of topic roulette.
Topic
People seem to
roulette.
like that. That's just basically what we go on and we find a topic out there in the news today that
I give up on this one.
that we discuss at random. We just gonna grab something and we're gonna talk about it.
Well, the first one I clicked on, and this is why I've been staring at the computer for the last 5 minutes. The first one was, fans are stunned seeing where Snoop Dogg lives. Snoop Dogg's humble abode has become an interesting topic and fans can't seem to digest it at all. So I click on it, and it's just fucking celebrities' mansions. That's it. And they're all like super expensive, super nice. I'm trying to find...
It's clickbody.
Exactly. And I'm trying to find Snoop Dogg's fucking shack that he allegedly lives in.
Would it surprise you if somebody who has hundreds of millions of dollars lived humbly? That wouldn't surprise me.
Yes.
You know who does that?
Would.
Redman.
Redman?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Redman had like an apartment.
Okay.
And
Sam Jackson's got an apartment on here. He's the only one, but it's a New York apartment. It's probably like $2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But realistically, like if I had $20 million, I wouldn't have a mansion.
Yeah.
I'd probably have a home not too much bigger than Charles's house.
Yeah.
It'd be nice as fuck. I have all kind of cool shit in there.
Yeah.
But I don't need a fucking spread.
This might all be clickbait. Here's one. Putin was visited by a cancer surgeon dozens of times in 4 years and takes rejuvenating baths in deer antler blood.
I believe that. I believe that because
I believe it too.
that it's been too many reports about how when COVID came about, he locked himself in a bunker.
It said a surgeon who specializes in thyroid cancer flew to visit Putin 35 times and spent a total of 166 days in his presence, a report reveals.
Yeah. I mean, he was, from all accounts, right? We're not going to get the accurate reporting, but from all accounts, he was having everyone tested for COVID daily.
Is there
that had his presence? Which one? Oh, yeah, sure. So, yeah, I believe that, yeah, maybe he is, he's found that bathing in antler blood, in reindeer antler blood, that he's becoming Santa Claus or something. I don't doubt it.
Take a shot of elk jizz.
I mean, at some
coffee.
At some point, you call him a narcissist?
Yeah, I think anybody who takes those sort of jobs have narcissistic qualities.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, like I said, like what when you have access to absolutely everything, right. And if somebody says, hey, if you have a health problem, like you and I both deal with blood pressure, right? As we sit up here, drink this alcohol, smoke these blacks, we got blood pressure. So if somebody said, like, look, if you drink this tea made from this fungus that's only found in the Nepal side of the Himalaya mountains, and it's gonna bring your blood pressure down, would you?
Yeah, you got the access to that.
Why you got access. Why not, right?
Why not? I'd fly it over, bring it to me today.
I like mine unsweetened.
Yeah.
With a little lemon.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's why these famous people, they do all this wild shit.
Look at Michael Jackson and what was it? Not the hyperbolic chamber. What was it? The cryo chamber. Remember? Yeah. He was like, oh, when I die, freeze me in this cryo. Like, he had paid millions of dollars to get frozen.
I think Joe Rogan's got one.
And you know what they did? Stuck his ass in the ground.
That happened to fucking...
According to everybody, right? I don't know. Maybe that was for show. I don't know.
That happened to Ted Williams. So when he died, he told, his lawyers, I want to be cryogenically frozen. So they did. And then his family cut his fucking head off.
Nice.
Why?
You seen that show Upload?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Would you do some shit like that? So, like, maybe just to give you guys a little background on the show, is basically when you die, they can upload your consciousness into like the internet or some other realm or whatever, to where people could still access you, and you just live in this other world with other people who have been uploaded. So, I don't know. I feel like when I die, I just want to be dead. Like, I think when it's over with, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to live to 120. Like, I'm good with dying.
I'm just tired of all these conversations. I mean, I know they're like something to ponder, something to think about. It's like a moral or a philosophical debate, right? But if I'm dead, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm never going to think. I'm never going to question. I'm never going to go, oh, they did a open casket instead of a
closed casket.
Instead of a closed casket, or instead of a cremation. Mm-hmm. Who fucking cares? You're dead.
I told my family, and I mean this in all seriousness, do not spend thousands of fucking dollars on my funeral. Put me in a fucking pine box. You can throw my body in the fucking ocean. You can bury me out in the... I don't give a fuck. I don't need a headstone. I don't need a fucking mausoleum. When I'm dead, fucking just do away with me. Okay. Like, my body is shit.
Donate it to science. Do whatever you got to do. I don't give a fuck.
Like, Nancy's like, you're an organ. I'm like, yo, if I'm dead, take these motherfuckers.
Yeah. I could help somebody. Them.
Yeah. So I have you read this, and then I have some thoughts about because I was listening to, and some people might listen to 1310 The Ticket. It's a sports 1310 The Ticket.
Okay.
It's
okay.
Sports.
I thought the show was 1310 The Ticket. It was 1310, and the show was The Ticket.
Right. 1310 is the radio station. It's AM, and I think they do 96.7. It's here in the DFW Metroplex area. They were talking about Kareem. But go ahead. This is an article we pulled up for Topic Roulette. Go ahead, read that.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar criticizes LeBron James, says he should be embarrassed.
Why?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, speaking before the Lakers hosted Denver on Sunday afternoon at the unveiling of a social justice trophy bearing his name, again criticized LeBron James for actions he said were beneath James and said the Lakers star should be embarrassed by some of the things he's done. Abdul-Jabbar wrote critically earlier this season about James's handling of COVID-19 in public comments, supporting Andrew Wiggins' vaccine hesitancy, and about James's use of a meme equating COVID-19 to the common cold and the flu. He said the criticism was born out of high expectations for James's activism and how he's addressed issues of inequality quite forcefully and eloquently. While he's met James, the two men have never spoken about activism or Abdul-Jabbar's criticisms.
Right.
I
Okay.
think Kareem's a jackass. Fuck, LeBron James can think and say whatever the hell he wants.
I don't know if I'd go that far to say Kareem.
You can't judge somebody else's
So he
activism.
said, so I'm not throwing stones. I just wish he wouldn't, some of the things he's done, he should be embarrassed about. That's just where I'm coming from.
Like what?
I guess
Well,
about the COVID-19
by
shit.
his point on COVID-19, right?
I mean, everybody's got an opinion on COVID.
Everybody's got an opinion, right? Maybe he,
But he's a public figure.
but he's saying, and he's saying that,
And as a public figure, as a celebrity, you do have a moral responsibility. And that's why a lot of people say at the Oscars, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear you don't have a high ground, all that crap.
Uh-huh.
But they kind of do.
But you say they have a moral responsibility to say what?
To just keep their mouth shut. Because they're not an expert.
No
Like
one.
we can do that because we're not really public figures.
I don't look. If these actresses and actors,
Unless we have a big following. Which, hey,
so
like and subscribe.
yeah,
So-
LeBron James could think whatever he wants.
right.
If you're a moron, if you listen to LeBron James and says, "I'm gonna do that," and you don't think for yourself,
But people do that though.
then they're morons.
Hey, speaking of Kareem,
I'm
by
not
the way,
saying-
has anybody watched that new HBO show?
Mm-mm.
Dynasty or whatever, the Dynasty Lakers?
Oh,
I'm waiting for it to pile up on
Yeah.
episodes.
So no, I haven't watched that. But this is
I heard
the.
it's good.
So the topic of 1310 the ticket, and I'm not sure if it was Dan McDowell or who said that, but who was I can't remember exactly who the spot was, who was on the segment at the time, but their basic premise of the whole thing was who was the greatest basketball player of all time. Right? Who's the GOAT,
Mine.
right?
Championships.
Well, this is the.
Oh,
this
no. Oh, I take the back. What's the dude from the Celtics? Is
Larry Bird?
Bill Oscar? What's his name?
Bill Oscar.
What is his
What?
name? That's not his name. It's something Oscar or something
Wait,
Bill.
listen.
Oscar Robinson.
It might be.
Listen, this is what his premise was, okay? So you have what they say is the top, right? So Michael Jordan, obviously, right?
Mhm.
And then LeBron falls into that, right? Okay. But his thing is, when you say the greatest of all
Bill
time,
Russell.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
11.
Okay, Bill Russell.
11. And Mike has what, 6?
This is the thing, right? When you say the greatest of all time, you suppose, he is including, he's saying what should be included is their high school career, their college career,
No.
and their NBA career. Okay.
Well, Michael Jordan was shit in high school.
Exactly, right? That's why he says Kareem is the greatest of all time. And I'll tell you why he said that. He said that Kareem is the greatest of all time because he won championships in high school, he won championships in college, he won championships in the NBA. Like, when you say all around greatest of all time, he should be included at
So
the top.
does that exclude Kobe Bryant and LeBron James because they never went to college?
Basically.
So they can't be the greatest, no matter
They can't be,
matter what their numbers are,
When you
because
say-
they didn't play college ball.
when you say overall all time,
Well,
right?
first of all,
And this is the thing, right? Kareem has more championships than LeBron. Okay.
if we're just going off of rings,
Oh, so LeBron, he's been to a lot of finals. He didn't win a lot of them.
Right.
You
just
got
say-
3, right?
You got 3. Kareem's got 6. He got the same as Michael.
it's hard to make this. It's hard to give a good answer because you're talking about a team sport. Who's the greatest player? Well, I guess then we can't go off of rings because that's a team effort, right? If you're on a shitty team, that's not necessarily your fault.
This is the thing, right? So he included
have to look
that.
at
Like,
stats.
whenever he got on, I can't remember who Kareem played for at first. but basically they didn't win the championship the first year, or maybe it was the first 2 years, but they were, they won 56 games, so you get on from winning, 20 or whatever games to, okay, then 56 and then the championship. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's saying like, hey, he's the greatest turnaround player, greatest of all time player. And when you listen to his argument, and I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to find it so I can play for you all. But it's not a bad argument. I mean, it's not a bad argument. Right. When you think of and Kareem is subtle with it. He's saying, listen, it was a different time, but he's saying, I don't even know if I should be considered the greatest of all time because I was playing with so many people that were great. Right? He was like, I was playing with so many people that were great. He played
in the golden era of the
Yeah, NBA. Like he's saying,
who's your favorite player of all time?
Ooh.
I already know mine.
I got two.
Mine's easy. Ray Allen.
Good choice.
And only because, first of all, the dude never aged. He played, 20-something years for basically every NBA team. Yeah, he didn't win a lot, but he's a cold player.
I think my favorite, I have two. Shaq is my number one player of all time. And the reason why is because
pure dominance.
The dominance. And to me, that is what draws me to certain athletes is their dominance and what the respect that they demand when they, like, there was no big man. Back then you had Shaq, you had Akeem Olajuwon, and who was the other guy he used to go at? It was Shaq, Akeem Olajuwon. It was another big man. But these guys, like, they demanded, like, respect in the paint. Like, Patrick Ewing is another one. It's like, they get Shaq 30 points a fucking game, and he doesn't shoot jumpers.
You already said Olajuwon? Olajuwon?
My second favorite is Kobe Bryant. I love Kobe Bryant because he was a fucking dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Kobe played, he was disrespectful. And not disrespectful to what he said, but like how he played the game against other people. And to me, what makes a good athlete is when they're killers.
Right.
Allen Iverson is another one. He's a killer.
I was just going to say, Iverson would not be up there for me.
No, because as far as accomplished wise, he didn't win championships.
I think
he crossed over Mike one time, and all of a sudden that set him in this magical lore.
But
he wasn't that great. And his shoes were, by the way, were shit.
Yes, he was. Allen Iverson was that great because when
Shaq's, by the way.
When you look at Allen Iverson's size,
just everybody Bruce loves. You just shit on him.
But you know what? I know Shaq's story behind those shoes, and good kudos to him. He tried to make them affordable.
You're right, good of course. But so I would say
Allen Iverson is not the GOAT. He's a legend.
I would say
he's a dude.
I would say,
man, you got to practice.
I would say Scottie.
Practice. You talking about practice?
Listen, I would say Scottie Pippen for me.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Jason Kidd.
Jordan never won without him.
Did not get enough credit.
Didn't get perfect. And
Scottie Pippen.
Just because Jason Kidd knew how to run a floor.
One of the best free throw shooters.
Magic Johnson. Best passer ever. Nobody passes. You watch
Steve Nash.
No, not at all. Not close. Watch Magic Johnson's highlights. Magic Johnson was, I'm telling you, because he played in the 80s and early 90s. Larry Bird was not a passer. He wasn't a great passer.
Have you seen his highlight reel?
He can pass. All these guys can pass. I'm talking about Larry Bird is not an assist maniac.
Pistol Pete.
I never seen Pistol Pete play. He might be the fucking best there. I never seen
Jerry West.
He's the logo.
Scottie never got enough credit.
Scottie silky smooth. Beautiful player.
Yeah, never got enough credit.
And never complained about it.
Never complained about it. His contracts was shit. And
by the way, probably the finest NBA wife. Right? Didn't he get
his son is a dog. Scottie Pippen's son is a dog, man. Yeah. He's gonna play in the league.
I mean, just and then Jason Kidd, the way he just run the floor.
Jason Kidd is another assist king. Jason Kidd. You don't have pure point guards like him anymore.
Right.
Guys like Jason Kidd, like you got point guards now. Westbrook, he's a scorer. Like back in the day, point guards they were distributors.
Right.
They could score, but they were the generals of the offense.
That's right.
Now these guys, everyone's a scorer. Everyone shoots threes, even the big man.
Yeah.
So basically, the NBA now
The
is
game has
played
changed.
behind the lane, behind the 3-point line.
And I think that's part of it, whatever segment it was on there too. The game changed, so you playing in different eras. So you gonna have the greatest of all time in that era, And I think Kareem said, I wasn't trying to be the greatest of all time. He was like, I'm just trying to play the best basketball I could play at the time.
The hook shot.
Is he the only
the
one
sky
that
hook.
got a?
The sky hook was just, it was.
Did
phenomenal.
he had a? Am I crazy, or did he have a 100-point game, or was that Wilt Chamberlain?
Wilt Chamberlain.
That was Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah.
Okay, there's another argument for him.
And those things don't matter to me.
Mhm.
For example, take somebody like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman doesn't have big scoring. He never was a big scorer. But you look at how he had a role.
dominant.
He did a couple things that no one else could do. Number one, rebounding. He had it down to a science, like down to like the rotations of the ball. Like he had this whole equation of how to get a rebound, right?
Rebound.
And then another thing was, it's like if you watch the matchups between Dennis Rodman and Shaq, Dennis Rodman used to give Shaq fits because Dennis Rodman, he knew like, okay, Shaq is a big motherfucker, right? How do I defend him, right? He irritated the fuck out of him. He would do shit like put his knees in between his legs and, he would do little dirty shit, but it was effective.
Yep.
So Dennis Rodman is another guy who will never be in the GOAT conversation, but what he did was phenomenal, and there's no one else like him.
You're so when you say the word dominance, I think of I don't know why, but instinctively I think of defense. And one of the best players, at least for about 2 seasons, he was at the top of the game. And now I can't think of his name, but he played for the Pistons. Ben
Wallace.
Was it Ben Wallace? Yeah, Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
Beast.
Absolute beast.
When they were playing, was it the Sixers? Is that who they played?
They played a lot of people.
Dude, they were
fucking Chauncey Billups, Rip
elite.
Hamilton,
Elite.
Ben Wallace. Those motherfuckers could go. Those dudes could play. That was back in the days of when Shaq played with the Heat. That's when they were around back in those days.
There was about 1 or 2 seasons where they were not my favorite team, but I used to watch them all the time because their squad was fucking legit. Sacramento Kings. You had
Mike Bibby,
Vlade Divac,
Chris Webber,
Peja
also a beast.
Stojakovic, one of the best 3-point shooters in the game.
Yeah, now we're talking basketball.
That was a legit, and it sucks. I think they did go to the finals. I don't remember.
They had a hard time getting past the Lakers.
It was the Lakers. Yeah. Damn, they were good.
Oh, Rick Fox.
Oh, that motherfucker. Was he the one that pumped the ball at Kobe and he didn't flinch?
Probably.
I think it was him.
Was he him?
Yeah, Rick Fox, pretty motherfucker.
Was he married to Vanessa Williams?
Yep. Rick Fox, another guy who doesn't get a lot of credit because he won a lot of championships. Robert Horry.
Yeah.
Robert Horry won a lot of
Was he
championships.
Mr. Goggles?
No, Robert Horry didn't win goggles.
Who am I thinking of? There was another Horry Grant or something. Horace Grant.
Horace Grant.
Yeah, he played Chicago Bulls, and he also played with the Orlando Magic.
I only know him because of the NBA Jam.
Bro,
Good old NBA Jam.
That fucking Orlando Magic team with Penny. They had Dennis Scott. They called him 3D. That motherfucker could shoot.
Yeah.
You had Shaq. That was a squad, man. Penny was one of the dopest guys. Injuries.
See, I don't watch basketball anymore.
I don't watch anymore.
I gave up on it.
I can't handle it now.
It's tough to watch.
I mean,
if I watch it, I just fast forward to the last 2 minutes of the game.
Steph Curry is amazing.
You know it's going to be 130.
Yeah, it's
130 against 100.
It's always a 2-point.
128,
Yeah,
130.
Steph Curry is an amazing
like
basketball player. It's a shooter's game now.
Of course.
Back in the day, you had the offense used to run through the big man, and it was important to get your center. Now I don't know if there's any pure centers left. This is 2 guards and 3 forwards.
I think you calmed down a lot since we last shot this, but okay.
Yeah, see, I look at someone like LeBron James in the 90s. It looked like he could be a center because he's a big guy.
LeBron James would have been power forward in the 90s. He would have been like Sean Kemp.
Right.
Sean Kemp,
one of those sort of guys.
Was he a crackhead?
Sean Kemp?
Was it Sean Kemp or who am I thinking of? It was the dude that played for the Hornets. Sean Kemp was the Sonics.
Alonzo Mourning?
No, Larry Johnson. I think
Larry Johnson.
He was
LJ.
He turned into a crackhead.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't even know. Maybe he was arrested.
Sean Kemp's dunks.
Clyde the Glide, man. That fucking guy. That guy used to. But power dunking. They don't dunk like that's what they do. I won't say they don't dunk like that anymore. Ooh. But it's like those guys that go up with 2 hands and just rock. Or they come up with 1 hand. And it's like I don't care that you're jumping. I'm dunking this ball. It's like you still see that, but it's not like it
y'all
was.
go back
bro.
and look
like,
at Sean Kemp's highlight reel.
when goddamn
Ridiculous.
Scottie Pippen dunked on Patrick
ridiculous.
Ewing and then kind of stepped over him and then looked at him. Most disrespectful shit in the history of all sports.
Poor Patrick Ewing's knees.
God damn, dude. Like,
Poor Patrick's
I would
knees.
fight, bro. Like we were asking,
his knees.
we're
folks.
asking like when do you fight?
Mhm.
At that moment, Patrick Ewing should have said, "Fuck it, I'm getting attacked. You're not gonna dunk on me, and I'm not gonna punch you in the face."
Yeah.
With his knees though.
You get teabagged, man. That's the ultimate.
Yeah, you put your nuts on me, bro. When you dunk on me, like we're fighting for that shit, bro.
Okay.
I don't
Look,
take that shit.
so
man.
we're gonna move
You
on
got
to
me
our
upset
last
again.
topic.
That's why the shorts got longer.
Yeah,
We're gonna
because he felt Scottie Pippen's nuts. Brush.
we're gonna move on
He
to
felt the
our
little
last
bristles going
topic
across his face.
He's like,
in topic roulette.
I don't have facial hair.
Yeah. It's like, was that his? That mother.
He got a
we the
couple
fuck-
pubic hairs in his
Yeah.
mouth. He's like, oh,
Yeah, he's like,
shit.
what the fuck?
No, but we're gonna move on to our last topic in topic roulette, and we like to end on
What the fuck am I reading here?
something that's a little bit of funny, but a little bit of serious because it's a real thing that happened. So, Nolan, go ahead and give us a few tidbits of whatever article.
So
that
the
we
title of the article is, this is from October 4th, 2017, by the way, so I don't know how relevant this is.
It
but
might not be relevant, but it's
Well, let's
something.
talk about it.
Yeah, we
Chinese man admits sneaking snakes over border in socks. Buffalo, New York. A man was caught trying to sneak snakes into Canada in his socks, has pleaded guilty. Federal prosecutors in Buffalo say 28-year-old Chao Yi Li faces up to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty Tuesday to violating wildlife regulations. He was arrested in 2014 at the Lewiston-Queenston Bridge in western New York after Canadian border agents discovered 3 live albino western hognose snakes hidden in his socks. At first, Lee said he'd found them in a New York park, but had eventually admitted buying them. Authorities say Lee, a Chinese citizen who lives in Mississauga, Ontario, was trying to avoid a U.S. Fish and Wildlife inspection. Court documents say that on the same day, Lee also mailed several snakes from New York to China. Sentencing is set for October 30th.
I'm glad that it's old. What do you think has happened to this guy since then?
Oh,
Deported?
Maybe.
maybe.
Is he Chinese or is he Chinese American? That's what I want to know. Because the article says Chinese. Guarantee you he's not.
I think
Well, he's living in Canada,
it says,
so
well,
he
it does say a Chinese citizen.
Yeah, he's a citizen.
But it also says who lives in Mississauga, Ontario. By
They
the way,
probably send him
I'm
that.
sure I'm saying that
I'm
wrong.
sure he's on a visa somewhere, and he
Well,
was like,
Canadians
you know
are nice. They probably was like, hey, bro, don't do this shit no more. And they was like, you can stay, but just don't do this shit no more.
what do you think about him sneaking them in his socks?
Well, I think if he was, it depends on how much he was selling them damn snakes for.
You
Are they
think it
fully
might have
grown?
been worth
It might have been worth it.
Were they fully grown? Were they
couldn't have
babies?
been. They
Had
couldn't
to
have
be
been.
Babies?
Unless he's a size 27.
Or they're dead.
I mean, sometimes if
Squish
you make
them.
enough money, it might be worth it because it clearly there was a market for it because he had to
Clearly.
do it. Now, if he was just doing it because he liked those snakes and he wanted to keep them and there was no money in it for him to have them or to sell them, then I'm like, you played yourself.
You know what though? People, this shit's bothering the fuck out of me. These people that, especially in Florida, you see it all the time in Florida. These people that buy exotic animals can't fucking take care of them. They release it, and all of a sudden,
We got a problem.
it's an invasive species.
We got a problem.
That
right?
shit is out of control.
I think so.
I agree.
The point that I have about this whole thing, this is stupid, but it leads me back to the fact that I think it's something that we were talking about, that pets have become entirely too expensive in the first goddamn place.
Pets are expensive.
When I was
$4,000 for a dog.
right, when I went into the local gas station, there was a post up. Maybe you saw it. This is a gas station we both frequent. Maybe you saw it, but there was a post up, a reward for a missing husky.
Those IPAs.
Okay,
A missing husky.
a missing husky,
Okay.
and that husky, there was a $3,000 reward. So I thought, just banter with the guy behind
Shit,
the
we need to
counter.
go find that dog.
Or
My-
we need to start kidnapping some dogs.
Right. So my banter behind the counter with the guy
Anybody.
was, I'm like, geez, guy, $3,000. Can't you just go buy you another damn husky?
Yeah, but that's
He's
his
like,
husky.
Nah, probably not.
That's his dog.
And
man.
then he tells me, he says, hey, I used to, I have Yorkies. And he says, my Yorkies had puppies. And he says, I sold each one of those for $4,000 a piece. Here in Texas, he said people were driving from East Texas 5 hours away. South Texas, they're driving from 5 to 6 hours away to come get his Yorkies and pay him $4,000 for them. But he says, you know, that's cheap. He said, but when I lived in California, if I had had Yorkies there, I would sell them for $7,000 to $9,000 a piece.
You know,
and to me, that's ridiculous money for a
I'm not
dog.
buying that much for
first of all, I don't see much difference in